works, it should be, say, we're online.
Uh-huh.
Yes! That is a massive relief. Okay, I'll send you the link in a second. And then I'll start the introduction for the podcast.
Cool. And then I'll post the blog, and hopefully a handful of my readers will go, oh yeah, cool, yeah, him.
Yeah.
BronyWriter, I know him.
I made an announcement for a few days ago when we originally meant to have you on, but I never really posted an announcement that was canceling, so I ended up just replying to the people who replied to that blog that was canceled. And then for this podcast, for this scheduling, I didn't really post an announcement. I probably should have.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to get to my account from here. Okay, Alright. Oh my god. This is so relieving now. The fact that we're actually the fact that we're actually getting to the introduction is just so relieving. It's like it's an hour to get to this point. Oh my god. Alright, so you got the link. Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna do the introduction now. For this podcast, for this schedule, I didn't really post an announcement. I probably should have. What was that?
That was the podcast. I'm trying to get...
Alright. Well...
Trying to find how I can...
Alright, well, I'll go ahead and do the introduction now. So, hello, listeners, you people. I don't know how to do an introduction, so I'll just rip one off. Hello, Drama Work Nation. I'm your host, Killer Keemstar, and welcome to my podcast. And here's BronyWriter. Yes, the tension is kind of awkward right now because we just spent an hour trying to set this all up, and now that we're here, we don't know what to do.
Talk about horror movies, I guess.
Yeah, I pinned an entire list of horror movies. I'll tell you the ones I watched right now. I watched this year. I watched Creep 1, Creep 2, The Witch, and what else?
Or The Vivitch.
the Vivitch. And then Hush, although I saw Hush last year. But I still remember a decent amount of it. Although I think the first thing we're going to talk about is Spider-Man, because I mentioned that before we started airing.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah. Alright.
So, Spider-Man. Let's talk about Spider-Man. If I'm being honest, I haven't played a ton of Spider-Man. I'd say I probably played a couple hours of it.
Like,
I've just done some of the side casts. I just conquered, or however you want to put it, one of Wilson Fisk's construction sites. I think that's the last thing I did. So I haven't done a ton with it, but I've done enough to know that it's a blast.
oh
Much
yeah,
lighter version of an Arkham game, I guess.
yeah. Everyone complains about the writing, but to be honest, it just feels like normal, typical Marvel. So I'm okay with it. The overall story, I can see that they are bringing in the best parts of Spider-Man, and that's kind of why I enjoy the story. It just feels like Spider-Man.
Well, speaking of Spider-Man, I'm really disappointed that they made the Venom movie PG-13. That's really upsetting. It's like making Deadpool PG-13. No, you got to make it hard R to really be like making a Silence of the Lambs movie PG-13. You got to make it R to suck all the juice out of it.
Oh my god!
So much on the table by making it PG-13.
The Venom movie. I really don't know what to think about that one. I don't know if I'm going to see it when it comes to my theater, but from what I hear, it's kind of disappointing. But I only got this from like one word of mouth.
It's got a nice big fat 29 on Rotten Tomatoes.
All right. Is it you seen it, right?
No, I haven't seen it. I'm just sitting here quietly disappointed about it. I'm excited for the new Halloween.
New Halloween. Oh, I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm not excited for it because I love John Carpenter's original Halloween, because I think John Carpenter is a great director, and anything people try to franchise off of that he is involved in is kind of an insult to the original creator. That's really why I haven't seen that's why I haven't seen any of the new Halloweens. I saw the remake, the Rob Zombie remake.
So did I.
Yeah.
I've seen every single Halloween.
Yeah.
For better or for worse. The only other one where anything is H2O.
Yeah, isn't H2O the one where everyone goes H2O doesn't exist? Or is that a different one?
H2O is Halloween's 3, 4, 5, and 6 don't exist. Which is fine because those are horrible movies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So
it's the only other good one.
Yeah. The Rob Zombie remake, I like that they tried to give Michael Myers more depth. But the thing about the original is... Yeah, I know, but like the thing about the original is is just the fact that he's just so mysterious in the original is kind of what makes him menacing, because you don't know what he's capable of. It's kind of what makes him interesting in the first place. It's just.
Well, see, the thing about Michael Myers that always made him interesting was that he was a combination of the boogeyman and the boy next door. So Michael Myers was his ultimate evil that could pop up anywhere. The initial scene is so horrifying and tragic because there's no reason for it. It's not, we see his sister bully him and then goes nuts on her. It's just he comes back from trick-or-treating and then gets a knife and stabs her. We don't know why. We never find out why. I find anything after Halloween 2 non-canonical. I could even be flexible on 2's canonicity. So explaining Michael Myers ruins that. Really like Phalis, he goes into a lot of good detail about it. That the first 45 minutes where we're delving into his backstory really, really dilutes the rest of it, because now we're comfortable with Michael Myers on screen. He's not this menacing shape.
Yeah.
Because seen him on screen for 45 minutes. Whereas in the original film, every time he was on screen, you knew something was about to go down. You knew someone's about to get killed.
Yeah.
And the remake ruins that.
It does. Like, I really don't have a problem that they tried to give him more story, but it took up, like, half the film. So by the time we actually get to the important, juicy stuff, it is kind of ruined, because now we just see him as this guy, like this kid in a mask that we're supposed to feel sympathy for, I guess. I really don't know what they're trying to go for in that one. But
Kind of like feeling sympathy for the shark in Jaws. It's not the point.
yeah.
He's this ultimate unstoppable evil. That's the point. But they set it in some small town, Haddonfield, so that he can also be anybody, which is what's really impactful. But if I'm being honest, I never thought Halloween was the best of the first age slasher films to begin with.
Oh, which one?
The film that I thought did everything that Halloween did, but better, was Black Christmas.
Black Christmas.
Love Black Christmas.
I don't believe
Easily a better film than Halloween.
Black Christmas. Yeah, I'm looking that up.
Yeah.
You say Black Christmas.
Okay. Black Christmas. What?
Sorry, I just go ahead.
Black Christmas was made by the same guy who did A Christmas Story, actually. Bob Clark. The late, great Bob Clark.
Yes.
But I actually did I did a 10-page paper on this in college about the origin of the slasher film and why Halloween took off when other films that did exactly the same thing that Halloween was ultimately praised for didn't. So I think Black Christmas didn't take off because it was some low-grade Canadian slasher film. Didn't really have a big... didn't really have a ton behind, didn't have some big Hollywood studio. But it's too bad because it is the better movie. And I know a lot of people are all on the Halloween train.
Yeah.
And Halloween's a good movie, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Black Christmas is better in pretty much every way.
Yeah.
Creepier killer.
I'm actually looking at the Google Images for one that the posters, the theatrical posters. Yeah, I recognize the image. I know what movie you're talking about now. I've been waiting to see that one. Yeah, the lighting looks really good. That's part of the reason why I want to see any horror movie with good lighting. I'm a fool for.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and don't watch the remake. I can't stress this enough. Watch the 1973 or 74 original. Yeah, 1974. I mean, everyone's seen the shot of the girl with the bag over her head on the rocking chair, and everyone's seen the shot with the guy looking through the doorway. We can just see his eye, or holding up the unicorn to stab somebody, and you just see his eye. Everyone's seen those moments. They're iconic, even if you don't know the movie. But no, you gotta see the original Black Christmas. I stand by it being better than Halloween by a considerable margin, actually.
Yeah, I would definitely check it out. I don't. A lot of people tend to criticize Friday the 13th. I haven't seen any of them for years, but like when I remember the first two. Like, I don't think I've seen them since I was, like, 14 or 15. But, like, what I remember of, like, the first 2 or 3 is that they're actually pretty fun films because you can actually have a good laugh watching all these characters die. That's at least my take on it.
I've never overly cared for any of the Friday the 13th movies. It had some fun moments for sure. Each one kind of had a different fun moment. Like Jason X is an awful film, but the liquid nitrogen kill is awesome. And when he goes to that virtual reality Crystal Lake, that's pretty fun. So it's all there. It's fun, but it's not good. None of them are good.
I like how they try to go for something different when they introduce the Carrie girl, the one that could levitate stuff. I like how they're trying to go for something different, but to be honest, I only saw she was only in 2 movies, and the only ones I remember is the ending because I only got to watch the ending, and the Jason Takes Manhattan one. That was a weird one.
Awful
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. I guess this the most I can say is the first 3 are the best. After that, ignore the rest. That is the best way I can put it. I don't know. I would have to actually binge watch the entire series sometime. It's Halloween. I'm on a horror binge, so what good time of any? So yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
Speaking of horror remakes, as you mentioned, The Last House on the Left.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, I was bringing this to the audience. I went to Walmart and saw a whole display full of horror movies. Bought one, and I was expecting it to be Wes Craven's original Last House on the West. Last House on the Left. Sorry. I was kind of disappointed to find that was the remake, but I wasn't too disappointed because I was expecting it to be a film I could make fun of. So I was kind of excited because I was expecting to be laughing the entire time. I was just disappointed when every character was making smart decisions. So I was really disappointed that I actually kind of liked it.
It was better than the original, and I know that's a controversial statement to say. Wait, the remake of a classic Wes Craven film is better than the original? Yeah. The remake had its major problems, too. The fact that they didn't kill the daughter was a huge problem. That's kind of important.
They do at the beginning. I could immediately tell which parts they were foreshadowing. Like the moment they introduce the daughter in the remake, she's is like an underwater shot of her in a pool at I think a swim meet. And immediately I could tell, okay, she's going to be swimming away at some point, and that's what she does, and that's it. It's just literally she's trying to swim away out of danger. They could have just put that in there, and they didn't really have to explain. Oh, she's good at swimming. So that was kind of dumb. There was another piece of foreshadowing. What was that? Trying to think. No, this film is not as dumb as most horror movies. That's really why I was so
No, it was definitely better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Didn't make it good. Aaron Paul, who played one of the psychos, is always a delight.
Yes.
I always love watching him. He's great in everything.
Yeah, I loved Aaron Paul. I would totally watch this movie again just for Aaron Paul. Other than that, I would not watch this movie again for other reasons. I I don't know what it is with horror movies and having to make the bad guys so over the top. Like you introduce them in the first scene, and immediately they just kill this car full of people, and one of them is still alive, and I guess the leader of the group decides to choke him to death with a seatbelt, and he sees the guy like a picture in his wallet, and he shows the picture to the guy and says, "You see this? You're never going to see these guys again." And I was like, that's kind of over the top, don't you think? Even for horror movie standards.
I've studied serial killers. I minored in sociology with an emphasis in deviance, so things like took a class on domestic abuse, took a class on psychos and stuff like that. I think something like that. It was a frequent topic of conversation, and considering everything that people have done to each other, yeah, they're not that far off.
Mm.
It's not the most unrealistic thing I've ever seen somebody do in a horror movie.
Yeah. I just thought it was weird when that same guy showed up in a later scene, just suddenly started being all gentle. It was really weird. Like one scene, he's making these people suffer, and then the next, he's like the nicest dad ever. Kind of an asshole dad, but he's nice. Like he's an asshole with a heart.
Which is kind of a departure from the original. I mean, the whole point of the movie is these normal, everyday people becoming monsters to fight and kill these bigger monsters. That's the whole point. That's the idea of the film. What would you do for vengeance? And the monsters have to be pretty big monsters for that point to really be driven home. So yeah, they can't be bad. They can't be good. There can't be humanity in them for the impact to really be there. But then they have the son who switches sides for no reason. I mean, he has a pretty chilling. He's a pretty chilling moment, I guess we could say, in the original film. The original film suffered from a lot of tone problems, which is kind of why I thought the remake was better, because it was tonally consistent, and the original was not.
Yeah. I kind of see a lot of inspiration from I Spit on Your Grave. Which I have not seen, actually. I Spit on Your Grave. I Spit on Your Grave 1. I know you're into gore. You might like the gore moments. That's basically what just every single I Spit on Your Grave film is. It's just like a snuff film. That's literally all it is. There's no meaning behind it. It's just snuff, snuff, snuff. If you see the first one,
I'm familiar with the idea behind the I Spit on Your Grave films, the revenge fantasy films.
Yeah. I have not seen the original. I hope it's better than the new. I don't know. What you said about the original Last House on the Left, that kind of surprised me. I was expecting that one to be better. So who knows? Maybe the remake is better than the original. But I did see the sequel.
It is.
Yeah.
Although the remake chickened out in a lot of areas that it should not have.
Really? Because there's a full-on rape scene and torture everywhere. It's weird.
Yeah, they chicken out. I mean, obviously the crux of the film is the horrific rape scene in both the original and the remake. And that's the point. That's what the parents are avenging. But gosh, I don't want to give too much away for when you eventually see it. But that's. The original goes in some more defined direction that the remake does not.
And I guess not afraid to go into certain territories.
The remake does some more extreme things.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry, the original does some more extreme things. Sorry, my apologies.
Yeah, it's right, Wes Craven. I wouldn't be surprised. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just watched.
Yeah, there's some legitimately disturbing things in the original.
Yeah. I don't really know what my initial reaction will be when I get to it. But I'm hoping I'll actually find time to enjoy it. I actually watched the Wes Craven's original Nightmare on Elm Street a a week ago, and
I love that movie.
yeah, and I remember like watching a YouTube clip on it with the girl in that hallway dancing, and it was like, yeah, this is kind of creepy. So I go watch it.
No, Wes
Like,
Craven was an exceptionally talented horror director for sure.
he is.
That's not a question.
I watched it for like the first time. I love it. It's very imaginative and kind of creepy.
I would also suggest New Nightmare in that vein. Wes Craven's New Nightmare. And Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 actually had some pretty decent moments in it too.
Yeah.
So those the three that Wes Craven was involved with were the three best ones.
Wow.
Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, who'd have thunk? Yeah, but like my main issue with like the first film, like I don't think it's perfect, but like my main issue was just like the actors were just really cheesy. Like it just felt like a cheesy 70s horror movie, like under a great horror movie. That's really kind of why it took away from some of my enjoyment. But yeah, maybe I just had to watch it again. Like, and that was the problem. I just looked at it the wrong way. Yeah.
I think part of the issue is that Freddy is less scary now that he's become a cultural icon. I mean,
Yeah.
I knew who Freddy was 15 years before I saw Nightmare on Elm Street. You know, it's actually a line from Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Everyone knows who Freddy is. He's like Santa Claus. Yeah. Everyone knows who Freddy is, and we all know what kind of a goofball he became later in the later films. So it diluted him a lot, you know.
Yeah, and like the original film, it didn't shy away from being goofy too much. The ending scene where she goes home alone on Freddy, it was kind of hilarious. Where whenever she runs out the door and a mallet hits Freddy in the stomach, that was freaking hilarious. Watch that. Yeah, I'll watch that 10 times over. But like the whole Wait, say that again.
Sorry, do you put any stake in the fan theory that Kevin from Home Alone grew up to become Jigsaw?
I need to think on that. It's not too far off.
I love that idea.
Yeah,
I love that idea.
It's a great idea. I can't really argue. I can't argue with it too much because I don't think there's a lot to connect it with. Because the Jigsaw is just this really old guy. Kevin is this young kid, so you can just infer that this is years later, like years after Home Alone. So you can really just make a bunch of connections on your own. So I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I would have to look into that theory.
It's suggested. It's a fun idea.
It makes a lot of sense because yeah, Jigsaw is just crazy guy who's building a bunch of contraptions, killing people with them. Although I kind of wish he did it more comedically, like in Home Alone.
Nah, it would have taken away from the film.
Yeah.
If Saw was comedic, it would have taken away from Saw if it was comedic.
They kind of went for more comedic Saw in the recent film Jigsaw. Oh, I haven't seen it, but from the trailer, it kind of looks more like a comedy than or a snuff film.
I saw it in theaters, and yeah, I wouldn't say that. It's a Saw film. It hits all the same beats as a normal Saw film. It was better than 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's for sure.
4, 5, 6, and 7. I don't know. From what I know, one is the best one, and 2 is like the second best. After that, everything is kind of just shifts around. So far as I know,
1, 2, and 3 are. There's some really good ideas in all 3 of them. Have you seen any of them?
I've seen. Oh, it's been years. I've seen. This is like when I had a TV, which is like 1 or 2 years ago. So yeah, yeah. So like around that time, and I think it was like saw 1. Some saw 1, and some saw 7 with the crappy ending, where just fall the like the cop just comes out of nowhere wearing a big mask and just stabs the guy in the neck. That one. Yeah. Yeah. Let me put my laptop on my desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's most of the Saw films. I'd say 1, 2, and 3. No, I'd say actually most of them had because some of the big things with the Saw film is the big twist at the end. And I'd say most of them did it pretty well.
Yeah. Just. Oops. Oh crap! No. I had liquid on my bed. I didn't realize that. There's like a there's like a coffee mug with that was like almost empty. Crap. Yeah, I need to tap that out.
I have a ball python.
Ball python. That is nice.
Yep, I have a ball python on my bed, chilling under a Monopoly box lid.
You have a ball python. That is nice, Timmy. Now eat your pudding. What did you say his name was?
Podrick.
Podrick. How'd you come up with that?
Game of Thrones.
Oh. I've been meaning to get into that.
I'd suggest it.
Yeah. Yeah, my stepfather was watching it. He said he gave up on it when zombies showed up. That's kind of a 2D way of looking at in like a TV show, because from what he's said about it, he really enjoys it. But like when you stop watching something all because something like zombies show up, it's kind of meh. I don't think I would really trust your word on it. So since then, I've been kind of like I actually have a DVD set for the first season, but I just haven't gotten to watching it yet.
First season's the weakest one, but once you get past that, it gets really good. I mean, they're all really good, but the first one's the weakest one, for sure.
Yeah. And so far, this podcast is going great.
Yeah, anyway, horror movies.
Yeah. Horror movies, we're talking a lot. Ignore the silence. I'll edit that out. Alright. Yes. Alright.
So what's your favorite scary movie, Sid?
Sorry, say that again?
What's your favorite scary movie, Sid?
Favorite scary movie? I think I had one not too long ago. I don't know. I don't think I have a favorite scary movie. I would totally recommend Sam Raimi's original Evil Dead trilogy.
Oh yeah. Obviously.
if I had
I
to,
actually saw the remake in theaters back when I was in college with a bunch of college students. We all had a blast with it, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can totally get behind why people like it so much because of the amount of gore that is going on. Just watching people die. That's kind of what made the original entertaining.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't care for Army of Darkness as much. I still liked it. I just didn't care for it as much as 1 and 2. But
Yeah, I like the transition into humor because apparently Sam Raimi gave up on horror in particular because he saw himself more as a comedian. So I can respect that. And
yeah,
it kind of worked too because it paved the way for a lot of films. Like the scene, like the scene where crap, the Deadeye. The scene where the Deadeye is pretending to be dead in the Army of Darkness, and one of the knights is just slowly walking up to it, and then, like, Ash just grabs his hand and says, "No, it's just pretending." Like,
mm-hmm.
like I love that transition into more self-awareness, and that's kind of part of the reason why I like Army of Darkness so much is it just became its own different thing. Every single Evil Dead movie is just its own different thing, so you can enjoy it for any different reason. That's why this series is so fun. Have you seen? Oh yeah. Have you seen Ashes versus the Evil Dead, the new show?
I haven't. I keep meaning to get around to it, but I haven't seen it yet.
It's not quite as good as the original trilogy, but it is fun. I should probably warn you of this one scene, where they're at crap. What's the name of that place?
Well, why are you warning me of it?
Oh, it's pretty, it's pretty disturbing.
So what?
I don't know.
Like I said, I've studied real life serial killers, and I've seen some things people can actually do to each other. So
okay, imagine. Okay, no, don't imagine. I'm just gonna tell you.
why would you tell me?
I don't know.
I don't want you to tell me.
All right. Well, it involves going to a place where they embalm.
What are you doing? What are you
I'll tell
doing?
you that. Once, okay.
No.
No, I'm just explaining to you what scene to expect. What I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yes.
All right then. Here's a beat by beat shot of everything that happens in the original Last House on the Left. Okay. Or do you not want me to tell you that?
No, I'm just telling you the scene. Like, just when to expect what I'm talking about.
And I'm saying I don't want to know.
Okay, fine. Alright, be incredibly disturbed on your own then.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah, alright, so we should probably get to the list of horror movies we're going to talk about. Let me pull that up real quick. Okay. Hush, I kind of want to talk about Hush because, I thought Hush was okay. I don't know what you think about it.
I liked it. It had some. It was good. Yeah, I mean, it had some really interesting ideas behind it, and there was a lot in there that was just the one scene with her friend trying to get away from the killer, but she can't, and she can't call her friend because she's deaf. So yeah, that scene was like, oh man, that's brutal.
Oh, yeah. My biggest issue with this movie is there is so much obvious studio lighting. I would have preferred it. Like, the movie would have been much scarier if they used natural lighting. I don't know what it is with horror movies and being afraid to use natural lighting to look scarier. But this one, you can just tell that there was just studio lighting, and I just really hated that. It killed a lot of tension for the scenes. I was never really in suspense at all. But any horror movie where the characters aren't making dumb decisions, I just consider okay because I really have no reason to hate on them. And even if it is a horror movie where the characters are making dumb decisions, I still wouldn't have a reason to hate on them because I can just have a blast making fun of it. It's just the kind of person I am. Yeah. But yeah. Hush
I mean, I've seen
is.
a lot of cheesy slasher movies, so I know all about making fun of dumb stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What do you think of the whole concept of the film?
Yeah, it was a creative concept. One thing I do like in horror is, creative concepts because, I've seen a lot of slasher movies and you can only do so many masked killer stalks big-breasted chick and slaughters her friends before it's just, okay, yeah, I already know who the killer's going to be because it's been fairly well telegraphed. I mean, a lot of these killers are as well hidden as Scooby-Doo villains,
One thing I wanted to touch on. Did you also find it funny when at the beginning of the film she's just doing stuff in the kitchen and the camera just randomly lands on her computer, which happens to be open on the page explaining that she's deaf and can't speak. Oh my god.
I don't remember that bit, but
Yeah, I remember it very well, and I saw the film last year. Oh my god.
it's been a little while for me.
Like what kind of person just randomly opens up their biography? I would understand if you want to see what people had to say about you, but why would you just randomly open up your own biography just to see what you're like?
I don't know. If I had a Wikipedia page, I'd check that every now and again.
Yeah.
Just to see what people are saying.
They can. They could have just obviously implied it into the film. I mean, she doesn't speak at all, except whenever she's having that. Her thoughts are just spiraling. You know that scene? What scene I'm talking about? Where she imagines herself running outside the house, and the killer just catches her and just kills her, and then she's just suddenly back in the house, and you realize, oh, she just imagined that. You know that scene? Yeah. Um. God, what was I talking about? Crap.
It was a better film than Don't Breathe.
Oh yeah, yeah. I did not originally meant to see that film. I actually bought that film from Walmart because at the time there was like two movies playing. It was like a Fast and Furious movie, which I did not want to see, and Paddington 2, and I did not see the first, so I didn't want to see the second until I saw the first. And so I just went to Walmart to get a movie instead, and I saw this, and it said, "Oh, it's made by the guys who made Evil Dead," but I wasn't sure which one, so I got it, and I don't know, it was a thing. It exists.
So you did or did not see it?
It exists. I did see it.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I am too. It's there, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know what it is with people and making a big deal about the horror movies. Like at least like once a year, there's like this one big horror movie that everyone has to make a big deal over, and then you actually watch it, and it's about average. I think this year, crap, was Get Out 2017 or 2018?
2017, and it was awesome. Thank you very much. It was the best film last year.
No, I actually thought Get Out was awesome. I was just trying to compare it to this one other film. What was it? A Quiet Place, I believe. Is that what it's called?
Quiet Place was awesome.
I haven't seen A Quiet Place, and I think like why is everyone making a big deal of it? Because I actually saw the opening scene, and it's freaking hilarious how the little kid just suddenly stops just to play with this little toy train or whatever it was. That was pretty funny. Spaceship. Yeah, that was pretty funny. So I can't really say I care that demon thing kidnaps him in the beginning. And that's all I really know about the film. I might get on Redbox. I think they have it here. So who knows? I might enjoy it, but that's
it was exceptional. I saw it in the theaters, Dolby Digital surround. It was amazing.
Get Out. Did you actually feel kind of scared watching Get Out?
The first time I watched Get Out was exceptionally tense. I remember my mother and I, because we watched a lot of horror movies together, we were just laughing throughout the whole thing, but it wasn't, sort of, this is funny kind of laughing. It was the sort of, something is wrong and we don't know what.
Yeah.
So we just uncomfortably laughed through the whole thing because it's, something's wrong. He is in danger. But I couldn't tell you why.
No. I bought a shitty version of the movie. It was a version from the Redbox. If you guys want to see Get Out, do not buy the Redbox version because they cut out a whole bunch of stuff, including the special features. That was a major disappointment because I was hoping that the special features would have some deleted scenes to add more context to the movie, because there was all sorts of things I was expecting to see as I saw them from trailer, and I was incredibly disappointed. So yeah, don't go to Redbox for this movie, guys. It's the one movie you do not want to go for at Redbox.
Well, that's bothers.
I need some water. Yeah, I'll be right back. Do whatever.
Right.
Play with your Python.
I think he's sleeping.
No. We'll play with it.
Also, who says go play with your Python? It's weird. Kind of double entendre, don't you think? So I guess while he's out and about, I can just say whatever I would like about him. I think this is going well so far, and definitely need to see A Quiet Place. I imagine it's going to get some Oscar attention. Not that a lot of people care about that so much, but I do. I watch the Oscars every year. I haven't lost an Oscar pool in, I don't know, 10 years. Best star I did on an Oscar poll was 21 out of 24. That was a good year. Couldn't tell you which one, though.
Alright, I'm back.
You're back. Okay, cool.
What was that noise you were making?
Playing with my Python.
Oh, no, you're saying something about I heard like 10 years and then something about the Oscars.
I was saying that I haven't lost an Oscar pool in about 10 years. Because I start following the Oscar race in about, July.
Well, we have our first question is actually from George. So how's the bee sting?
Oh, it was a hornet, thank you very much. And it's fine. It was it hurt. It hurt a lot. I just about hit the ceiling when it stung me. dumbass boss and my dumbass coworker. Oh yeah, we'll try to swat it away or scoop it up. And
I can't believe I can't. I almost forgot the important part of the podcast, the important discussion, The Shining. You said about hornets, and that reminded me because there's a scene with some hornets in the book, The Shining. We really need to talk about this.
Shining is one of my top 5 favorite films of all time.
Oh yeah, totally.
I love The Shining. I've seen it probably half a dozen times. I'm sure I'll see it several other times. If nothing else, to show my kids,
Yeah.
All right, kids, it's time to watch The Shining.
It is especially.
You've seen it 9 times already.
It is especially fun to watch it when you've read the book. I'm like 100 pages into it, and like just the details in the film are amazing. There's like this one scene. Yeah, there's this one moment in the book where it mentions that Jack Torrance is drinking Coca-Cola because he's trying to get over his alcohol addiction. And in the film, you actually where like he goes to the hotel for the first time and he's meeting with what's his face, the starts with a W. You can actually see him eating a sandwich. There's a Coca-Cola on the end table. I thought that was a pretty cool detail.
Yeah, Kubrick was big on details.
Oh, yeah.
I never actually saw the miniseries. I've been to that hotel though, the one in because I'm from Colorado, so
wow.
Which you can tell by the accent.
No, I couldn't.
Coloradans have a pretty, I don't want to say defined accent, but it's obvious if you know what to look for. In any case, yeah, I've been to that hotel, did the ghost tour there. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Oh, really? Yeah. Isn't that the hotel with the whole the whole girl thing? The girl in the elevator that's just waving her hands around. Isn't that where it happened? You know, that.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that was a really weird case. I would like to look more into that, but yeah, the hotel. I don't know Have you seen the documentary on The Shining, the Room 237?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, that was a
the
some
it's weird.
It is weird. Some of the commentaries are interesting, but at the same time you can't really help but laugh because there are so many weird scenes. Like there's this actual scene where they're interviewing this guy and his children start making noise and he says, "Oh, I should probably shut them up." And he actually gets up and goes to check on his children, and they actually recorded the entire thing of just him leaving and him coming back. It was really... This is not how you make a movie. This should be clear. If you are a filmmaker, do not pull crap like that. It is stupid, retarded. You need to learn how to edit audio. Do it.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know. Yeah, Kubrick. Kubrick is who got me into filmmaking. He's probably like the whole reason why I'm going to film school in like a year. I should really binge watch his films because I'm other than The Shining, I haven't really seen any of them in a while. I've only seen like 4 of his, I think. Full Metal Jacket, Shining, 2001: Space Odyssey, and what was it? Clockwork Orange, which is a favorite.
Yeah. Those are the ones I've seen too, actually. I don't. No. Oh, you gotta watch Doctor Strangelove.
Doctor Strange. Yes. Won. Yeah, I'd love to see that one. Yeah, totally.
He should have won several Oscars for that one.
Did the Oscars exist at that time?
The Oscars have been around since 1927.
Oh, dang. Wow.
Or I guess 1928, but...
I don't know.
Very much so. My Fair Lady won Best Picture that year.
Dang. Oh, it's kind of a.
Which,
Say that again?
not a better film than Doctor Strangelove.
Wow.
Rex Harrison won Best Actor for My Fair Lady when he should have lost to Peter Sellers for Doctor Strange. Doctor Strangelove is just overall exceptional film.
Wow. Yeah, I'll totally check it out. I've seen some of Eyed Wide Shut. I was pretty young when I saw it. Like not too young. It was just like when I was just getting into Stanley Kubrick, so most of it went over my head. But I think if I watched it right now, I would see it as a film I can really appreciate. What are your thoughts on it?
I haven't actually seen it myself.
Really? It was on Netflix for a while.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
Just never got around to it.
Yeah. I don't know. Stanley Kubrick. He's just one of those people. Like everyone describes him as a legendary figure when he's probably just this normal guy. But when you actually look at what little recordings there are of his voice, he's actually a real interesting person to learn about.
Yeah.
He's just basically like, how can you describe this guy? Like, perfectionist. Yeah, like just like the way he gets to the point with his films. He only has like 13. He only made 13 in his entire life, and I think like The Shining, he spent 3 years on. I don't know how long he spent on the others. 2001: Space Odyssey, I think he spent like 2 years just doing the research. He's a real perfectionist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird when people look to Alfred Hitchcock as the greatest film director. I can kind of see where they're getting at because he's written a lot of great
He's my
stuff.
favorite.
Oh, yeah, it's fair. He's written a lot of great stuff, but he was never really exactly flawless. Like his film The Birds is actually the horror movie that actually got me into the horror genre. But there was this really funny scene where when the birds are attacking for the first time, you might know what scene I'm talking about. This there's like an accident at the gas station, and yeah, a whole bunch of gasoline spills onto the ground, and this guy just randomly decides to pull over and smoke a cigarette. It was really hilarious. Yeah, Alfred Hitchcock himself wasn't exactly flawless, but he was great. I'm not gonna deny that he's great.
Yeah. I mean, I always liked Psycho the best, obviously.
Oh yeah, yeah, Psycho's great.
The first Hitchcock film I ever saw was Vertigo, though.
Vertigo.
Yep.
I have that film. I've watched a little bit of it. I have not finished it quite yet. I really should.
Yeah.
Would you say it's worth
I
finishing?
need to rewatch it because yes, I need to rewatch it because I haven't seen it since I think middle school. So I think I get a lot more out of it now. But some film lists have it as the best film of all time. I mean, it's not. That would be The Godfather.
Nah. Huh?
No, you don't agree?
No, I just feel like, yeah. I feel like I can find a different film if I do some digging. Now, there's just one film I really want to see. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called The Holy Mountain.
Uh-uh.
Oh. Oh. Oh, yeah. Well, I totally gotta check that out again. Then. Oh. It looks interesting. Apparently, I think it's supposed to be a commentary on art, I believe. Hang on, let me look this up.
Hopefully not modern art, because modern art is the dumbest thing ever.
I don't know. I did watch some of the beginning. From what I've seen, it is kind of a mindfuck. It's just one of those kind of mindfuck films. Holy mount.
Yeah, despise things that want to be art for the sake of being important art, you know?
Yeah.
You should just let your art stand on its own without having to go, yes, this will be so good because it's art. No,
Yeah.
just tell your story and let the art portion of it speak for itself.
Like art these days is a touchy subject because it's hard to find good art because there's a lot of people like these days art is just this one big machine where now it's just all about seeing how much money you can make off it, and that's what really pisses me off about art these days. So they're like
It's all.
yeah, but like it's just becoming worse actually. You know, like every single Disney film that is released is basically a rehash of the same concepts over and over again. Um, like applying that to every movie, like how can I describe this? It's you get a few good ones out of the bunch. A21 makes a bunch of good ones. I like them. Um, you get these people who feel like satirizing the death of art is a good idea. So you got people like Eric Andre who parodies talk show formats because they want to represent how that art has left late night talk shows. But I feel like why don't you just I don't know like actually be one of those people again? That's just kind of something that bothers me about art these days. I don't know. It's a real complicated subject. I would have to talk about another time. But yeah, that's just my thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Art, it's always been. Kind of reminds me of that scene in No Country for Old Men. You've seen that one, right?
Yes. Loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, I rewatched it recently. I think I've rewatched it a couple times recently. It's so many layers to it, but the scene with the guy with all the cats, and Ed Tommy Lee Jones is talking about, oh, things have gotten so violent lately and they're so brutal, and the guy with all the cats, like, it's always been like this. It's always been like this.
Wow.
This is nothing new, and I think your worries about art commercialized could say the same thing. It's always been like this.
Yeah. You know, like really pinpointing like the like what the problem is. You would have to do an insane amount of digging. You would have to know an insane amount about art. But you know, it's not too hard to be a good artist. You just really had to be. You just really had to be passionate about your own work. That's really just how I think art should be. You just really have to be really passionate about your own work, and you have to be willing to make something with quality. And I get, yeah, there's like a few people who still see that, so I can appreciate those people.
Yeah, that's what Tommy Wiseau thought he was doing. Although I love The Room so much. I love The Room.
Yes,
I've seen it like 4 or 5 times.
I'm actually my yeah. I told you how my stepfather's birthday week. His birthday is actually tomorrow. I am actually going to get him The Room for his birthday because he hasn't seen it. Yeah, I want him to see it. So yes, this should be good.
It's pretty amazing.
Would you say this is one of those films that is best to watch alone? Because I think it's best to watch it when you're in a room full of people.
Oh, absolutely. Gotta watch it with other people.
Oh yes, because it's a lot funner to make. It's a lot funner to point out the little details that don't make any sense when there are people around to point them out for you, and you can laugh at them. And one of my favorite things, one of my favorite errors in the film is the pizza scene. Did you catch on to that one? She ordered like Lisa orders a whole bunch of toppings, like, crap, I forgot what she ordered, but she orders a shit ton of toppings, and in the very next scene, all that's on it is just a bunch of sausage, and that's it. Just cheese and sausage, and she orders stuff like lettuce and pineapple. It's fucking hilarious.
Yep.
No.
When I told my dad that because my dad and brothers and we all watched it right before we went to go see The Disaster Artist, and when my dad found out that, wait, what, the budget for this movie was $6 million, he couldn't believe it. He wondered where all of that went.
Wow. Yeah. Did you like The Disaster Artist?
I did.
Yeah. That was an enjoyable film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Still thirsty, dang. Oh my god. Oh, do you know who was the actor who played Tommy?
James Franco.
James Franco. He was great. I loved him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was his best role, I think.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen I might have seen him in other films. Hang on, let me look him up.
Like Harry Osborn and Spider-Man, perhaps?
Oh, that guy. Yeah, I've seen him. Oh, yeah. But speaking of Spider-Man, I saw Spider-Man 3 a few weeks ago, and it is not as bad as everyone points it out to be. It is an alright film. It's just probably the worst Spider-Man film. Oh. Who's the Harry's dad? Who is he played by?
Willem Dafoe.
William Dafoe. Is he always William Dafoe?
Willem.
Willem. Will.
Willem. Willem.
L-E-M. Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe. I'm sorry. Does he always play a businessman? Because I found it strange how because like I only seen him in like 2 movies. That was like Spider-Man, where he's crap. Can't talk for crap today. He's the guy. He's Harry's dad. He's that guy in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Norman Osborn.
Yeah, and then and then American Psycho. He's this private investigator guy, or that guy with the FBI. Does he always play these businessmen in every movie he's in?
No, not at all. He's also he's a stoner soldier in Platoon.
Huh.
Also a very good movie.
Huh. Huh. I just realized we stopped talking about horror movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got off topic there. Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. You know, we're pretty much talking about, well, this podcast, we're pretty much talking about anything, so it doesn't really matter.
What's the worst horror movie you've ever seen?
That is a good question. I have this one film in mind, but it's been years since I've seen it, so I don't know if it's funny bad or just bad. But it is one of the Wrong Turn movies.
I started Wrong Turn 4 and just got so bored I turned it off. Which also happened with the My Bloody Valentine remake.
My Bloody Valentine. Ooh, sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Oh.
One of those cheesy 80s slasher films.
No. Oh, it brought up was a rock band.
Really? My Bloody Valentine only brought up a rock band.
Oh, I also brought the IMDb page for the 2009 remake. I don't know.
But not the original.
Not the original. Hang on. Here's the original. 1981.
There you go.
A decades-old folktale surrounding a deranged murder-killing those who celebrate Valentine's Day turns out to be true to legend when a group defies the killer's order and people start turning up dead. Huh. Looks interesting.
It's fun. Not particularly good, but it's fun. But I turned the remake off. Although the remake's supposed to be better than the original. Which, I don't know.
I don't know.
They kind of blur together after a while, you know? So I had a period in college where I just binge slasher movies.
Usually I don't.
You know, once I'd finished with all of the Nightmare on Elm Street, all of the Friday the 13th, all of the Hellraiser, all of the Halloween, all of the Child's Play films. What else?
Wow.
All of the Hannibal Lecter films. Then I started going after obscure ones just to see, okay, what are some good obscure slasher movies? I didn't find very many.
Wow.
Most of them are just pretty bad.
Oh my god. Yeah, you've definitely seen a whole lot more movies than me. Oh my god. I'm barely just someone who's gotten into the film, because I got into it when I was like 15, but I never really started watching movies like crazy until recently, until after I graduated, because by then I have so much free time that might as well just watch movies until it's time to do something else in life. So yeah, right now I'm just doing that until I get enough money to go to film school. And even then, that's probably going to be the same thing I'm going to be doing, just watching movies. There's a, let's go back to Wrong Turn. Which film did you said you saw 4, right?
I saw, I think, the first 45 minutes of 4.
4.
And then just lost interest.
Is that the one with the prisoners?
That's the one. Have you seen all of them?
I have not seen all of them. I've only seen the one with the prisoners, and it was awful.
Yeah, none of them are particularly good films.
Would you say any of them are at least fun to watch?
Nah.
No. Yeah. I don't know. Because the one I watched, it was confusing. Because at one point, the what would they call it in the film? The enemy. What do they call it? The deformed guy. I don't know. Well, at least at one point in the film, he dies, and I guess he had like a brother. So the brother dies, and then by the end of the film, he's like, oh, they're all dead now. And then you get like this scene where two of the main characters is a really annoying scene because it ruins everything the film built for these characters. One of them is like a prisoner. He spends the entire film going, "I'm innocent, I'm innocent," and at the end of the film, the cop just goes, "You say you're innocent, you're free to go." He's like, "No, it's a nice exchange between characters." And then you get the end film. The cop goes back to the truck that was abandoned in the forest to get the money back, and you just see that he's a greedy asshole. And then the prisoner guy shows up and shoots him with an arrow. Then he dies, and then you see that, oh, he's still an asshole. And Then the deformed guy shows up. Then cut to the end. So yeah, don't watch that movie.
Yeah, that's not the one I saw.
Yeah. So yeah,
Which, I'm fine with.
yeah,
There was a time when I might have watched The Wrong Turns, but now I'm just, whatever.
yeah, yeah.
I haven't
Really.
seen him, and I'm not losing anything by not having seen Wrong Turn.
There is actually one film I've been really meaning to ask you on. It was actually one of the films I listed. How Sue?
Haven't seen it. Yeah, the only one that you listed that I actually ended up watching was The Ritual,
Ah,
which didn't overly impress me.
yeah. David Bruckner. He had his amateur night segment in VHS was pretty fucking terrifying. But he had a lot. So it would have been cool to see him direct a full length film, but he didn't get a lot of creative freedom, which really sucks.
Okay, so
what?
Which one was Amateur Night?
Amateur Night. That was the one with the siren, I believe.
Oh yeah, yes, very good.
Oh yes, I love that.
Exceptional segment.
Oh yes.
Yes.
I would love to see him make a film where he has more creative freedom. Because at the end, you get the ending with the monster, and it's pretty great because you've been waiting for this entire film, and it's just a really great scene. But just the majority of the film is just pretty boring because it's just a whole bunch of jump scares and setting up for plot, and it's just boring. It's not scary.
I just looked like the Blair Witch Project to me without the found footage gimmick.
Yeah. You get some great cinematography. I like some of the shots of the forest. Those were great. Yeah.
It was just a project.
Yeah, but going back to VHS, Envy watching, listening to this, totally watch Amateur Night, the Amateur Night segment from VHS, which is the first segment, because it is terrifying. I watched a clip on it. Originally, I watched a clip on it on YouTube, and just the scene where she's on the bed killing the guy and just suddenly leaps off the bed to the other side is pretty wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'd say Amateur Night and the one in the Cult Compound are the two best ones.
Wow.
From did you see all the VHSs or just the first one?
I've only watched a segment of VHS. I rented it off Amazon, and I rented it just to finish this segment. So I haven't quite finished the entire film. Yeah, now I totally check out the rest.
Yeah, I've seen all three of them, and
3?
Yeah.
You like 3 films or 3 segments?
3 films.
Oh, yeah. I only thought there were 2.
No, there are 3. 3 VHS films, and like any anthology films, except for Trick or Treat, and you can put Creepshow in there too. They're pretty hit and miss.
Yeah. Oh, and David Regner, I think he's gonna be great. Just give it a few years. I think he's bound to make something great. If not, maybe make something awful, and I guess we're all wrong. But yeah. So far he's been making great stuff. Crap. There's just one other thing by David Bruckner I've been trying to see. I don't remember what it's from, but I learned about it through a YMS video. Do you watch any YMS? YourMovieSucks.org?
No.
Oh. Your Movie Sucks is a great YouTuber. He sounds like a troll channel. He does not. His reviews are very in depth, and you feel like you can actually agree with everything he says. He has this list called most underrated horror movies. I'll totally link that to you because you might actually find something interesting. But yeah, that's kind of how I found out about David Bruckner and stuff. It's real interesting. Yeah, I always like finding these underrated guys.
Yeah, for sure. I'm always looking for more underrated horror.
Underrated horror.
Yeah, I'm always looking for more of that. A film I'd suggest to you among that vein is Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. You don't look at the genre the same way. Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, you don't look at those films the same way after you watch Leslie Vernon, because it puts an awesome little spin on them that you look at and go, oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
Sounds interesting. Wow. It sounds cool. Wow.
Very well acted, some great twists and turns. Does the found footage thing. It's not found footage. It's documentary style. It does it right.
Yeah, I'll totally check that out. Will you say the name again?
Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon.
All right. Behind. All right. Oh. Oh yeah, that
I'm a sucker.
Huh?
I'm a sucker for self-referential horror. So there's this film called Wishmaster about this evil genie that I watched it a second time and it sucked. But I saw it the first time and I went, it sucks, but it's not so bad because it's got Robert Englund in it and Kane Hodder and Wes Craven's behind it. Oh, it can't be that bad. No, it is. I watched it again and I went, wait, no, never mind, it is pretty bad.
We should probably get back to the list, because you mentioned found footage. I watched both Creep films. And I'm not gonna lie, I did enjoy both of them. There are obvious issues I had, but I probably enjoyed Creep 2 more than Creep 1 because I thought Creep 2 was a lot more entertaining. Because I love that. Yeah, because I loved how they focus more on comedy. Creep 2, I love the opening scene where he's just talking to that guy and he just grabs a knife from out of nowhere. That was pretty funny. Creep 2 is... Yeah, that was a lot better. Both films I would probably rate like a 6 if I were to give them a rating. Creep 2 being like closer to 7, Creep 1 being closer to like a 5. Because there was like a bunch of... Because like Creep 1 had like a bunch of annoying jump scares.
Well, see, I think the thing about Creep 1 that I enjoyed is we've all met someone like him. We can all remember a time of, I remember meeting that one guy who just didn't seem right.
Yeah.
And throughout the whole film, you knew something was wrong with this guy, but you just couldn't put your finger on what.
Yeah. And I was actually kind of creeped out through the entire film. They actually did a good job with that. They actually did a good job implying that he was a really creepy guy. I feel like the main character was kind of a moron for just accepting that this guy, like whenever he got the video of the guy recording himself saying, I'm just a really lonely guy and I want to talk. I feel like the guy was kind of a moron to actually believe it, but the ending was probably my favorite part of the film. Like, I didn't really see it happening the way it did. It was really interesting.
I mean, part of the things of it's stupid. I mean, there are moments in horror films where yes, what somebody is doing is legitimately stupid.
Yeah.
But a lot of times this is stupid because we know they're in a horror movie.
Yeah. Oh, that is so true.
Yeah. They don't.
They
so
don't.
If this happened in real life to us, we quite possibly react the same way that they did, because we wouldn't know we were in a horror movie. We wouldn't know. Just Freddy's not a real person. This is fake.
I think like the issue I had with that part was like I looked at it from like how I would look at it. Like if I got if I got a DVD like that in the mail, I would just not reply back. I would not go to meet that guy at the park. I'd probably just avoid him at all costs. That's pretty much just how I looked at the situation, and I guess that's why I just kind of saw it as moronic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
I think the guy just thought this guy is a creep, not this guy is a serial killer.
By the way, one major nitpick I had, they really play on the, you know how found footage films really play on the factor that this film is so realistic and it's real. Yeah, it really bothers me on the scene where the guy is in the bathroom and he's just having a phone call with the guy's sister. It was really annoying because you could actually hear everything she was saying perfectly. That is not how a real phone conversation would go in a found footage film.
No, but at the same time, you can't have
yeah, but
the audience.
The dialogue could be written in a way where you could actually figure out what she's saying. And there are films that do that impressively. I feel like you could have gone for that route, but yeah, I don't see this as realistic enough. But I liked I like the more of the concept of Creep 2 in Creep 1, because this time the main character, well, she sort of knows that the guy actually is a serial killer. He just tells you up front, hey, I'm a serial killer, and I actually kind of thought that was interesting, because I don't know any other horror movies that pulled a trick like that, where the main character knows that they're possibly in danger, and yet they don't care. It was just like real interesting just watching it all unfold. Yeah.
I'm having to bite my tongue on that, because there are films out there that do that and do it very well.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. No.
But I don't want to give anything away for any other films,
Oh. Like this Creep 2, it's enjoyable. That's just like the most I can say about it. I don't really see myself as a fan of these films, but yeah, I can totally see why so many people like them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Let's go to the next film on the list. There's a lot of silence in this podcast.
Well, until you edit it out, that is, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, let's try to sound more into it,
Yeah.
Alright, guys. Alright. Guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, dudes.
Go for it, man.
Alright. Yeah, I think we're just really trying to find out what to talk about, because so far we're kind of limiting ourselves to just like horror movies, so don't feel afraid to suddenly go off in a different direction. No.
Well, but horror is what I came to this podcast for, so I'm kind of interested to what you have to say about
I watched
whatever film. What'd you watch?
I'll tell you what else I watched. I watched Bewitched and Emily. I watched a little bit of Would You Rather earlier today. I really didn't. I wasn't really interested enough to continue. But there was
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I just rewatched it right before the podcast, actually.
Wow. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got like
I've been meaning to rewatch it.
I got like 15 minutes in. I probably should have watched a little more, but I just kind of wanted to do other stuff. But there was this one thing I noticed. I assume it was an actual thing, but I think there was a Shining reference in the scene where she walks into the mansion for the first time. Did you catch on to that? Because she walks into the mansion, the guy brings her to the room, and guess what song is playing in the background?
Oh, no, that I did catch. Yes.
No. Yeah, was that an intentional reference, or was that just them playing the song? What do you think?
I'm sure it was an intentional reference, because that song is so intrinsically tied to The Shining that I have a hard time believing, oh, well, this is a song we'll just use that no one's ever used before. No, it doesn't happen.
Yeah. No. It's a great song. That was like the only parts I liked about what I saw. I should probably watch more of it, but everything else.
You should, because Jeffrey Combs, who you might recognize more from Reanimator, chews the scenery like mad, and it's glorious.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be sure to finish it. Probably not tonight, but I'll definitely check it out tomorrow. But this other film, Emily, I enjoyed that one. I liked Emily. It was great. I actually read one of the reviews on IMDb, and it was titled "Great Film Concept, but Goes Nowhere." It goes several places. I'll leave it there. Some pretty fucked up things happen in this movie.
Yes, most notably the hamster scene.
Oh
was
my
the one
god!
that disturbed me the most.
I actually skipped that scene because I can actually put myself in the situation of the little girl being forced to watch your own pet be eaten by a snake. It was really, it made me like really uncomfortable. Oh my god. Yeah, that was really hard to watch.
Yeah, especially for me having a ball python. It was just, wait, no, Podrick, you'd never do that, right? Yeah, you probably would. You're a snake, you don't know any better.
I couldn't really get beyond too much behind the whole reason why this girl was so messed up, because we find out that she accidentally killed her own baby while she was sleeping, and does that really explain why she's trying to fuck up these children? Like, would you consider that a good enough explanation?
Well, she's trying to fuck up these children, quote unquote, because she's trying to kidnap the youngest one as a replacement child, you know?
That still doesn't make sense. Why don't you just kidnap the youngest one? I don't know. It's pretty disturbing. If any of you watch this film, watch it with the family. It's a family movie. You know, watch it with your children. They'll love it. You know. Yes.
Here's how you act when mommy and daddy aren't around.
Indeed. You know, if the babysitter shows you a porno, watch it with her.
The porno of your dad cheating on your mom.
Yes. Wait, what, was that what was on the tape, or was it or is it just a normal porno?
No, that was the dad cheating on the mom. That was a sex tape. That wasn't a porno. That was a sex tape.
Oh, I missed that part. Oh. But yeah, this film, if you like dark and messed up horror movies, totally check this one out, because this one disturbed the hell out of me. Great recommendation. I think like the last thing we have on our list here is The Witch, which or The Vivitch.
The Vivitch.
Yeah. I really don't know what to say about this movie. For what it is, it's actually kind of well made.
Acting was spectacular.
Oh yes, the ending where the little boy's on it, the part where the little boy's on his deathbed is freaking amazing. I love that scene.
Yeah. Exceptional.
Oh my god, yeah. You use the word exceptional a lot.
You
know.
use the word like a lot. I don't know.
Oh, like, yeah. I'm mostly just trying to find. I'm just trying to find stuff to say. Okay. Just kidding. Yeah, typing to someone. Ugh.
Yeah, this
like exceptional. Do you know what that word means?
You keep using that word.
You keep using that word, exceptional. Do you even know what that means? No, I'm just confused, because when I think exceptional, I think of something. Okay, this film feels acceptable to watch. It's alright, but you know, it's acceptable for what it is. That's kind of what applies to me.
Well, I'm not saying acceptable. I'm saying exceptional.
Exceptional. Exceptional. Let's look at the definition for exceptional. Unusual or not typical. Unusually good or outstanding. Oh, okay. You're actually using the right definition. All right. Never mind then. No. But
unusually good.
But yes, The Witch is a great movie. I love the overall concept of like just the writing in particular. I mean, the overall concept is okay. I like how these people are slowly losing their minds. That was pretty crazy. The performance in this film is great. What else is there?
The film that's even better when you really recognize it for what it is because the subtitle is a New England folk tale or something like that, or a modern day something. It's a folk tale. So when you look at the film not as things that have happened, but as legends that are being passed down to people who, as a warning tale to people of here's why you be pious, because look at this family. They got kicked out and then the witch got them.
Yeah. It is an overall great movie. So far, out of all the movies on the list, this one was the best. I like this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it with my brother-in-law, and my wife watched it for a little bit, but not her kind of movie.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Hey, don't forget to. There's this comment in your blog. Hey, don't forget to pay attention to chat. It was fun listening to y'all talk about horror, though. We're still doing it.
Yeah. Was implies past tense. We're still going.
Yeah, we're basically just just listing on films and giving our thoughts on them. That's pretty much what we're doing. I feel like we can put like more discussion behind them though. You know?
Yeah.
Like what do you think the overall concepts of? Oh yeah, you already crap. No, I was about to ask you what the whole concept of just them taking these folk tales and just like history and putting it all together to make this film, but you already went through that.
Not even that. It's just in universe. The point of the Vivitch is that this is a warning story to people. You know, because in the beginning they get kicked out of their little community, their little village, what have you, and the events of the movie are the stories that the people in that community that they got kicked out of would tell about that family as sort of a warning story of you better be pious because look what happened to these people.
Oh, sorry, I was paying attention to the chats. Apparently, this guy was trying to ask a question. Okay, repeat that. Oh, repeat what you said. Oh, in a short.
The events of the movie are the events of the movie are an in-universe folklore. Because the movie starts with them getting kicked out of.
You don't have to explain the whole thing. Just explain.
Well, yeah. I mean, the start of the movie is they're getting kicked out of their little Puritan community. And then the events of the movie are folklore from those people. Here's what happened to this family. So the events of the Vivitch aren't so much true events being recounted as a legend, a warning story kind of legend.
Wow.
To scare people into being more pious.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I would totally recommend this film to anyone. I think the ending comes down to personal preference because I didn't really enjoy it. It was kind of too crazy of an ending for me to really enjoy it. But overall, this film is pretty spectacular for what it is.
Yeah, I mean, again, when you look at the film through the lens that I just brought up, then the ending makes more sense. Oh, see, they all died, and then the girl became a witch, and something happened to the twins. We're not sure what.
Yeah.
Something definitely happened that was untoward.
Yeah, like just the ending. Like, yeah, I knew what you were saying, but like I just didn't like the way the ending was done. Basically, that just made me say, it's kind of too crazy, even for the movie like this. Because I feel like it could use some better direction than just playing loud music and then having them all float away. That was weird. But
yeah, I guess I can see how that would be.
Yeah, but overall the ending did make sense. I did like the direction they went for. It is a great film, great film. What else is there to talk about? And more horror movies. I kind of want to show you the piano scene from House 2.
Might have seen it.
The piano scene?
I know I've heard of it. Pretty sure I've seen it.
Was it a Japanese film?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, let me look at the list.
So sort of toothy orange puffball thing on the cover, you know?
Yes, that's the cat. The portrait of the cat. Oh, I just realized there was 2 additional things I added to the list. That is Krisha and It Comes at Night, which are not horror films, but are scary in their own way. Have you seen either of them?
I haven't, but I thought It Comes at Night was technically a horror film.
No, It Comes at Night is not a horror film. It is more of a thriller. But from what I'm only a few minutes into this film, but the cinematography is great. The performances are great. From what I know, the whole concept of this film is that it's all in their heads. That's really all I know about it. It just explores. It's basically a film that explores just paranoia, and I just love that over concept for a film. Krisha is by the same director of It Comes at Night. It is not a horror, but it does have this tone that makes you constantly leaning in your chair in suspense. It is great. Throughout the entire movie, I was kind of expecting, I don't know why, but I was kind of expecting the main character to just kill this entire family. And that's
I haven't seen it, so I have no concept of what you're describing here. So
I know, but like, okay, I'll give you a guess of what happens. This woman, she hasn't seen her family for many years, and so she finally decides she needs to change her ways because she's been an asshole all her life, and she's going to go see this family for a special occasion. I believe it's Thanksgiving. But yeah, the film's overall tone is so unnerving that you really never know where it's going to lead to next. I highly recommend this film.
All right, well, check it out.
Oh yeah. Is a very experimental style. I could say that.
And I can appreciate experimental style.
Oh yeah.
You know, I can appreciate trying something new and failing.
Yeah.
More than trying the same thing and still failing. You know?
Oh yeah. Totally. I feel like that was kind of a riff on Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson is his own thing, man.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh, Wes Anderson. I waited months to see Isle of Dogs because I was actually really excited to see that film. My theater closed down before I could go see it, so I had to wait until it came out on DVD to watch it. And the day before it came out on DVD, it came out on digital, so I just bought it on there. And I didn't expect it to enjoy it that much. It was better than what I thought it'd be. It's really good, really fun movie. Wes Anderson. Wes Anderson has some great stuff. I think he's great.
He's certainly unique.
Yeah.
There's no director working in Hollywood quite like Wes Anderson.
Yeah. Yeah, I own like 2 of his films, just Isle of Dogs and Fantastic Mr. Fox. Both of them I enjoy a whole lot. But I'd like to see him work more with stop motion because his stop motion stuff is great. I really do enjoy his stop motion stuff. I feel like I feel like a stop motion, like not enough people really take advantage of stop motion animation. Like at least not enough people. Cause you get a few good ones like the Nightmare Before Christmas, was that what it is? Yeah, the Nightmare Before Christmas. There's Coraline. There's, you can't name too many. is a real underrated style film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really think we need more. I actually plan on going to film school to study it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering what you were going to film school for.
No.
You were saying you were going, but I wasn't sure what for.
I am going to learn how to make movies, and stop motion is just one of the areas I plan on learning. I mostly want to be behind the camera. Yeah. Yeah. I have a friend in town who is actually going to help me make films. We were actually originally planning to rent out a building and make it into a studio, but then I made plans to go to film school, and so we ended up canceling on that. But we still might be making a film soon. Just don't know when, and I don't know what it's going to be. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Pod.
Oh.
I'm going to go put my bug.
Okay. I'll be right back. I'm going to the bathroom.
Okay, cool.
All right. BRB.
BRB. I'm moving over. How would you disrupt the podcast just by being on the bed? Then he edits it out. I just don't like the idea of a pregnant wife. You back?
Oh my god. All right, I'm back.
Cool. Where were we?
I was actually gonna ask you a question about writing. Gonna get a little off topic here. Have you ever tried to write a story within a 1 month time frame?
Say again?
Have you ever tried to write a story within a 1 month time frame?
What do you mean?
I don't know, like what is the tightest like what is the shortest amount of time you gave yourself to write a fic, like to finish a fic specifically? That's what I'm asking. Okay, maybe I should rephrase the question a bit. Okay, what is the longest amount of time you can exert yourself when it comes to writing?
Well, I used to do it more. I used to work at a desk. Front desk for residence hall. so there was nothing really to do but write in between bouts of checking out vacuum cleaners to people. So I banged out, over the course of one shift, I banged out a 12,000 word story.
Dang.
And there's a 30,000 word story that I banged out over the course of the day, I think. So, yeah, that's the shortest it's ever taken me to write something long.
I don't know. I like the question was just in my mind because I'm trying to write this this fanfic I'm trying to release by the 25th of October. So yeah, I'm only giving myself like just short amount of time to write it. The problem is I haven't written in so long. It's kind of difficult pumping something out with quality. You know, it's kind of curious, like how you do it. Like how you manage to write so much in a small amount of time. It's difficult.
I just do.
Yeah, you just do it. That's really how you do it. But you know, for me, it is kind of a problem because I have this need to actually make sure what I'm writing has quality. So, if people say writing is easy, it's not when you want to be good. Yeah. What else was I ever talking about? How to? I think I'm going to show the clip to how to, just in case it reminds you. Okay, we're gonna share the screen now. I like how the first result is from PewDiePie.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Alright, can you see my screen?
Maybe?
Oh, that's right, you're on. I forgot you're on phone. You can't do on phone. Crap. I'll just send you the link to the scene and then show the people watching what it is.
Oh, wait, no, I got it.
Oh, you did? You can see it?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Alright. No, this looks like the trailer.
House.
Okay, what are we looking for? Isn't it not on here? Strange? It should be on here. Yeah, that is really weird. Yeah, I think it got taken down.
Mm.
Ah, crap. I love that scene.
Uh,
Oh. Darn. Okay, I guess we'll just watch the trailer. See if that reminds you of anything.
I mean, I haven't seen the movie, but I think I've seen the piano scene. Or at
Oh,
least
yeah.
parts of it, you know.
It is a very unique movie. I hope to get on Blu-ray. I only watched it on Amazon.
I see in your eyes where tomorrow is hiding in my heart. There's a bell ringing loud at the touch of your lips. From the rainbow, I'm shining with arrows keep falling as thick as clouds. 眩しくて怖いのよ。日の光が。
かからないわ。故障よ。
Oh. Anyways, I should probably warn people who probably plan on watching this movie. It being Japanese, it can be pretty weird, and not like horror weird. No, it's just there's just like a whole bunch of scenes where you go, yeah, this is Japan. It's just, yeah, it just has those kind of scenes. Yeah, it is a great movie. Highly recommended. I really want to watch it again. Oh. Huh. Yeah. What other movies were there? The Invitation. Tell me about that one.
The what?
The Invitation.
Oh, yeah. That's one I had to watch twice. The Invitation. Yeah. It was interesting, if a touch disjointed.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Have you seen it?
No, but is there like a way you can describe it without spoiling anything? It's just one of those movies.
It's just one of those movies you kind of have to watch.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I could describe it without giving anything away.
Oh.
It's different. It's definitely different.
Well, you said it's on Netflix?
Yeah, yep.
Oh. Interesting. I think we're kind of burned out on horror movies right now. Yeah.
What do you think? Silence of the Lambs, horror or thriller?
Thriller. It feels like a thriller, more like horror. You get some horror towards the end, but yeah, it's not really too scary. I love the Hannibal Lecter scene where when he's escaping the prison. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it is freaking great.
Other than the two Godfather films, it's my favorite movie.
Am I the only one who finds it hilarious? Whenever he's escaping, whenever he steals the pepper spray off the guard, just the way he's spraying the guard in the face. Did you think that was funny?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I love that.
I don't know about funny.
Yeah, I'll bring it up. Show you. Am I still sharing the screen?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. Okay, what scene am I looking for? I think escape. Oh, Halloween.
Which I am super excited for.
Oh. I might see it. I wouldn't count on it, but there's a good chance I'll see it.
Can't be any worse than 3, 4, 5, and 6. Or Rob Zombie films.
Which? I think there was like one I did like that was a sequel. It had a twist ending. It's not the one where the little girl becomes a serial killer. It's
4, I think.
yeah, 4 where he's at the penitentiarium or the asylum. That's the one I like. Or just the ending. Try to. Oh yes, this is the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Just the way he's spraying him in the face. Huh.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've
Yeah.
seen Silence of the Lambs many times.
No. Oh, crap. It wasn't as funny as I remembered. I remember him just like that film was randomly cutting to him, just spraying him in the face, and just his arm waving all over the place in front of his face. That's how I remembered it. So it was a lot funnier in my memory. Don't know why. It's weird. I don't know. By the way, I mentioned Spider-Man 3 earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For some reason, there was this weird memory I had of Harry. No, he's the new Goblin. I had this weird memory of when Peter Parker is on the bridge and they're in the park. For some reason, I thought he was riding his hoverboard in the middle of broad daylight. I don't know how that was in my memory, and then I watched the film a few weeks ago, and he's just completely dressed up in normal attire and not riding hoverboard. He's just hiding behind a tree. I thought that was a weird memory. Do you have moments like those with films?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't tell you any right now, but sure I have them.
Oh. Oh. I think we're all burned out. Anything to talk about. This has been a interesting podcast. Yeah.
So it has.
Yeah. I think we're gonna end it here.
Yeah, wish we'd gone into more depth on some things, but
Is there anything in depth you want to go on? Because I think we could try before we end it. Yeah, because so far it's just it was just us going from topic to topic. I don't feel like that's very interesting, but you managed to keep it alive. But like what would you recommend exactly?
if you haven't seen The Good Place,
Good darn. Okay.
wait, the Panzer Lover wants to talk about. Panzer Lover wants one more question.
Ooh. Pan's Lover. Crap. It gets a podcast. Oh my god. The chat. Howdy, I'm back. I wanted to ask my question. I guess we're gonna wait for him to ask the question then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. No. Oh, I forgot. I was gonna introduce you to the next Tommy Wiseau. Do you know Neil Breen?
Do I know who?
Neil Breen.
Not by name.
Oh. Well, I already described him. He's pretty much the next Tommy Wiseau, except he's the next Tommy Wiseau with every single film he makes. It is great. He is amazing.
What's he made?
Well, right now I'm looking at Fateful Findings, a masterpiece, an amazing film, a work of art. You have other films like Pass Through, and another work of art. What else is there? There's he has a lot of stuff. He makes films quickly because he has a very small budget. And, yeah, and honestly, when you make films quickly, they're gonna turn out the way they do. But yeah, totally recommend him. Yeah, I'm trying to show a clip. The computer's slow.
Yeah, I think I'd only get, given that I'm on my phone, only get. Okay, all right. Panzer Lover. What's the best way to show, don't tell in writing? I recently wrote a short horror fic and it felt rather difficult to properly write a scene since so much.
Alright. If y'all wants show, don't tell in writing. I wrote a short horror fic, and it feels rather difficult to properly write a scene since so much of it needs tension. Showing, don't telling. That falls in line with imagery. And it's difficult to build tension if you can't leave a lot of details to mystery without making it a formless blob in the reader's mind. That is a good point. Showing, don't telling. I actually have that problem a lot with my own writing. That is specifically, that's only when I'm trying to start the story. So, like anything I start will just be a lot of telling, like how the characters got to this point, and trying to really dial that back. But the rest of the story, I just try to find the perfect balance of imagery. Like, trying to name a good example. I
guess if are you asking about characters or imagery? You know,
Yeah.
so surroundings.
Yeah. I recommend we're reading the chats right now.
Write a scene. So much. Okay, so you're wondering about.
Like showing and telling.
Well, I mean, a big part of horror tension is how the characters react to what they're seeing and feeling around them. So instead of, I don't know, Twilight was in a spooky house, have something more along the lines of each hoof step creaked as Twilight traversed the dark halls of the mansion she'd been locked into, or she'd been forced into by the stormy weather. The paint was peeling off of the walls, and she couldn't see much farther. She couldn't see as far ahead as she'd like. I'm totally making all this up off the top of my head, obviously, but her heart was slowly beating, and it skipped a beat every time she heard a noise. Was that coming from behind her, or upstairs, or the basement? She couldn't tell where the noises were coming from, or if they were even just the house itself settling something like that has a lot more visceral imagery than Twilight was in the house and she was scared. Does that make sense? Am I detailing that right?
Well, he's talking about building tension. It sounds about right. I actually want to go to this scene and the show. Have you seen Samurai Jack?
I never saw it
Oh.
very much.
No. Well, it came out again recently. Have you heard? Lag sucks. Whoops. Sorry. There's this scene in like the second episode that is really intense where he's getting chased by these people and he has to hide from his pursuers and this graveyard basically, and the scene goes on for like 3 minutes where the pursuers are exploring the graveyard while trying to find him when he's hiding in one of the tombstones, and every single aspect of the scene is perfect because they use every single element to build up the tension. Like there's this firefly hiding in the tombstone with him, like giving him like a light of hope, and as hope fades away, so does the light from the firefly. It is great symbolism. And there are a whole bunch of little details you can notice in the scene that where when he's trying to grip the sword the weapon he's using tighter and bring it closer to him, the pursuers can hear it and they can find him. It's just like, I think tensity comes down to detail, and I think that is an important factor. What kind of details can you put into it to make it tense? And if you can get the details down, find all the right details without making it so overbearing, make it just right, you can have a pretty intense piece of writing.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you look at everything in a scene. Let's say you watch a movie and you had to write a novelization of that movie, something like, I don't know, The Witch, or I don't know, let's go for The Witch, just because. You'd look at the scene and go, okay, what in this scene of, say, them in the pen with Black Phillip, they've been nailed into the pen with Black Phillip, or whatever you want to call it. And they're wondering, is this goat really the devil? Or is it something else? And you'd watch that scene and go, okay, what details from here are the most unsettling to me? How can I describe what about this scene is creeping me out? And focus on those details instead of a lot of pointless ones. So
yes, everything. When it comes to writing tension, everything that matters should come together, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Guys is trying to escape his pursuers. He's probably losing hope that he'll ever escape. You should write that. Just little things like that will be highly beneficial. Let's see here. What kind of story is this guy writing? Is what I want to know. Yeah, because if you Panzer, if you can hear us, I know it's lagging on your end. If you can hear us properly, describe the scene you're trying to write, because I think we'll be more help then. Write that just in the chat, just in case. No. Alright. No. This podcast is almost over. Yeah. Just trying to wait for Panzer to answer back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so far I think this has gone well. It wasn't bad, but yeah, we held back a lot, kind of. Yeah.
It was fun to discuss.
It was. I don't know. This is only my third episode. I hope to have you back on again eventually. Hopefully by then.
Pony A is walking through a forest being stalked by Pony B. Pony B is revealed at the exit of the forest.
Pony A is walking through a forest being stalked by Pony B. Pony B is revealed at the exit of the forest.
I've already written the full story, but I feel like I did it wrong. Well, what I can do for you is put it on a Google Doc and PM it to me or something like that, and I'll take a look for you if you would like.
Pony.
It'd be easier to do than on a laggy YouTube chat.
Yeah. Well, you can probably view this for later, anyways. Yeah. Pony A is walking through a forest being stalked by Pony B. Pony B is revealed at the exit of the forest. I don't know. That's kind of a tough one. Yeah, that's kind of the thing that's best to just read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'd be my suggestion. Is send it to me and I'll take a look for you.
Yeah. Consider this the end. Wait. I can hear y'all, but it's delayed by about 3 minutes. Oh, okay. Yeah. No. Yeah, I would totally also be willing to look at it for you. I'm actually a critic over at the Pleasant Commentator Review group, so I can totally check it out for you and give my thoughts on it, on how to improve it. Yeah, other than that, I feel like this is a good place to end. Unless you have any more questions, Panzer, or you. That's all I'm calling you, you. Yeah. Anything else to discuss, or are we taking it done? Because I'm tired. I'm pretty beat.
You're tired?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do have to